hype it up right quick, man. You heard him. You heard him when AJ Brown did what he did with the bike situation. I heard what you said, AJ. But anyway,
Tomo had to represent for that. That's not Tomo thinking right now. He just put on his cowboy hat for a second.
Yeah, I had to have my moment. Speaking of moments, Decorius, superstar member.
Yeah, where you at, man?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Now, AJ, I hope you stick around because the fun is about to begin. Because Sunday at 4:30, your quarterback was out there. He was throwing dots and everything. They said the fans and everything. They opened up this practice to show that Hurts was out there throwing dots. They didn't do it for training camp, but they did it for this practice right before the wild card game. You got the NFC East champs, 14-3 Eagles going up against the team they opened the season against in Brazil. So you know the conditions and everything that they had to deal with when they were down there. However, they at the crib, as AJ would say. They had the link, as Kev would say. This team has not lost a playoff game at home. They're known for hanging banners. I mean, they're known for beating teams when they're at home in the playoffs. We got a special guest for this one as well. Not Kev. We got Trent. Just had to give it. We got Trent coming up to join us for this topic, but we got to talk about it. Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs. I was talking about Jacoby Jones. I started thinking about a whole nother game. But guys, we're trying to.
Let's bring him up.
Oh, you on this one? Oh,
there you go. How you feeling? I'll get you with the chairs.
How's it going?
What up, Trent?
All right. Hold on.
I got you, Joe. You doing something else? Yeah. Joe, I got you. We building this plane while we in the air.
Yes, sir.
How we doing?
You're doing good. So if
how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm here, man. I'm here.
Okay.
Ready to get this ready to move forward and look forward to the NFL playoffs. Get this college stuff out the way.
I was gonna say NBA.
or NBA, either one. But we Kings got to get there first.
Man, the Kings, man. Hey, 5-game win streak, so.
Hey. We all got love for
Christie season.
Oh, yeah. Nah, he is doing his thing. But we got to ask. We've been asking everyone, so we got to get right to it. Eagles, Packers. Who wins?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of coming on here and talking good about the Eagles, but I do gotta give credit where credit's deserved. I think this Eagles football team remembers last season losing in the first round and kind of just a miserable ending to the season last year. So they're ready to right all those wrongs coming into the season. Obviously, going and getting Saquon Barkley, we know how that's worked out for them. Almost passing Dickerson's rushing season if Sirianni wasn't afraid. But that's another time. That's another story for another day. I think, I love Saquon. He went to Penn State, so much love for him. But I do think the Eagles are just too talented on both sides of the ball. The Packers' really only chance of winning this game, I think, is going to be establishing the run. You mentioned Josh Jacobs. He's been super hot the last 10 weeks. He's had 14 touchdowns in the last 10 weeks. And the Packers are a run-heavy team, fourth in the league in rushing. So clock management, keeping the ball out of this Eagles offense's hands is really the only way I see the Packers having a shot to win. The Packers defense never really lines up in man coverage, which is where Jalen Hurts, when he does have his inaccuracies, typically seems to struggle. So I don't have a lot of hope in this Packers defense slowing down this Eagles defense. Or Eagles offense, rather. I just think that the Packers need to run the ball, establish the run, hopefully not get down too early, and really keep the ball out of the playmakers' hands that the Eagles have on offense. So I'm going to give it to the Eagles. I'd say I'm going to go Philly 30, Packers 17.
I got a question for you, Trent. I know you say they had a horrible ending to their season. Who they lose to again last year?
Yeah, first round of the playoffs, they came down to Tampa. And, they were I think they were 10-0 or 10-1 or something like that. Thought they were going to win the division, which they ended up doing, but somehow they were a wild card team. And, it just happens. But they did lose to Tampa in the first round, and we have more matchups to talk about. But there is a potential for a rematch in the second round, so looking forward to that if possible.
I like how I like that. I like that. Dave, who you got winning?
Eagles. I don't. The Packers are missing Christian Watson and Jair Alexander. That's their best cornerback. He's out for the rest of the season, so they're not going to see him at all. Um, and the Eagles are getting healthy all at the right time. Devontae Smith is available. AJ Brown is going to be there. Jalen Hurts is going to be there, and Saquon is fresh. He didn't. They a lot of starters sat in the last game. And this is their time. This is their time to shine. This is their time to show that they are on a Super Bowl run. This is what they said. They said that they didn't want to break that record in the last game, even though that would have been history for Saquon and also history for the Eagles because he would have done it in the Eagle uniform. But they said that they have bigger things to worry about. They want to focus on making a playoff run, and it starts here. They have the golden opportunity to make this happen because I don't see the Packers being able to stop Saquon. Do he need to do? Even though they are pretty good rushing defense, I think they are this is a top 10 rushing defense that they have in the league right now. But I don't think that's going to stop Saquon to be able to do what he want to do. And then of course Jalen Hurts is back. He's no longer in concussion protocol. Remember last year when the Buccaneers beat the Eagles, AJ Brown didn't play. He's playing this time. Devontae Smith is healthy. Dallas Goedert, they got a lot of, and then this defense has improved from what they had last year as well. With Jalen Carter, who's a second team All Pro. You got the young guys, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. This defense has improved a lot. I just think that the Eagles have the better team, and I see them winning this game.
So I got a lot to say about both these teams, but the last time my team was against this team, we all know how that story ended. Oh, would it be great to see the same thing happen to the Eagles on Sunday? Oh, that would be great. That would be so perfect because a lot of people are saying everything that I'm going to say as well. The Eagles have the better team. They have the better – the defense is doing their thing. You name some of the key pieces on that defense, Quinyon, Cooper, Jalen Carter. You got CJ doing his thing. I said CJ because Carl kept saying him. Giving him another name, and I was like, he's not a top 5 receiver, so I was calling him that. But Packers been in this position before. They already know what it is when it's time to go up there, and they probably find a way to rally together and make this a game. But if you ask me who I'm really picking, it's really going to come down to the running backs. If the Packers can establish that run game, like Trent said, it may be a long day because the Eagles are kind of a little shaky when it comes to their run defense. If you go back and look at the Dallas game, you can see that Rico Dowdle was making plays in that game. However, at the end of the day, the Eagles were the better team once the quarterback started to give up the ball. So I say this, both quarterbacks are coming off of injuries. One's coming off a concussion. Jalen, they say Love is dealing with a shoulder injury right now, and he's trying to bounce back from that. I say it's going to be a closer game than what most people are thinking. Some people are thinking it's going to be a blowout, but I do see the Eagles finding a way to win this one. Hopefully it doesn't come down to a field goal because we all know what's going on with field goal kickers, and it seems like the Eagles and their kicker are still trying to work some things out. But I think the Eagles find a way to win this game. Joe?
All right. So, look, for those who've been tuning into R2L since the beginning of the year, we made our predictions before the year. And we all made Super Bowl picks. And for those who don't remember, my Super Bowl matchup were the Baltimore Ravens against the Green Bay Packers. That was my Super Bowl matchup. And, I know my man Tyler flipped this pick, but I don't flip picks. So I'm going to stick with my pick, and it's the Green Bay Packers. All right? I'm picking the Packers to upset the Eagles. Sorry, AJ. Sorry, Kev. And for them to win this game, all right, number one, run the ball. Do what y'all been doing this whole year. Run the ball. When you look at the Eagles, Jalen Hurts barely throws the ball, right? Barely throws the ball. I think we went over the stat before on the show. He throws the ball. They run the ball more than anybody else in the NFL. Far they throwing percentage is the least amount in the NFL. Guess who's second least? It's the Green Bay Packers. They run the ball a lot. Josh Jacobs has been the best running back in the NFL this year, not named Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. He's been the best. So they got to use him. Even in the first game they played, although that defense was different, all right? Even though that first game they played, Josh Jacobs was having his way when they gave him the ball. So they got to feed Josh Jacobs. Number two, do not get off to a slow start. When you watch the Minnesota Vikings games, both games, watch both of the Detroit Lions games, both games, what happened? Green Bay was behind every single time playing catch up. Now the Eagles, they're famous for not starting fast. The Eagles point differential in the first quarter last in the NFL. Sorry, 25th. No, they ain't last. No, they're 25th. The Green Bay Packers, they're first in the NFL, but when they play these good teams, they're not. So they have to start fast. Because if they're able to start fast and go up like they did against the Cowboys, right? Go up 14-0 or 17-3, they're gonna definitely heavily rely on Josh Jacobs. And lastly, and this is the main thing, Jordan Love, can you be accurate on third down? Can you be accurate on money downs? That Minnesota Vikings game, they were behind so many points because Jordan Love was not making the throws on third down. He was missing guys wide open. He was inaccurate that game. He was terrible. Then the second half, he picked it up. But we need you to do that early on in the game. So I'm going to pick the Green Bay Packers to win this game, and I'm going to say 27-23.
In the link?
In the room. I mean, this happened before. I remember a Green Bay Packers team rolled up to Philly and won. That's all I'm saying. This ain't the first time this happened. They had Michael Vick, Sean McCoy, Deshaun Jackson. I think they had Jeremy Maclin. They had all these superstars. Andy Reid, our head coach. That team was nice. Wild card Aaron Rodgers, 6 seed. Won Super Bowl that year too. And won.
I got a funny Philly story before we move on to the next game. I'm gonna keep it real brief. So I was in Philly one time for like Valentine's Day weekend, and I was walking past this hotel, and like Jeremy Maclin was standing at the valet, and you know how people want you to recognize who they is. So I was with a group of folks, and I was like, I think that's Jeremy Maclin. Like he heard me say it, but I was like, all right, and kept walking. So I looked back, and he was looking like, why you ain't try to ask for an autograph? And I was about to turn around and be like, I'm a Cowboys fan, bro. I don't care about y'all. I don't care about no Eagles. Get out of here. But
hey, real quick, I kind of respond to this real quick. Have they beaten a playoff team? They blew out the Texans. That's a playoff team, right? They count, right?
They definitely should count, right?
So
and the Texans are playing one of days.
Didn't they beat the Eagles week 1?
They lost.
Oh, they lost in Brazil.
They lost. That game was sloppy though. That game was.
This is really a big day for me though, because we're gonna see what.
Also, Davey Dallas, was AJ Brown hurt last year, or did he just quit on the team?
Ooh. Oh, shout out to Dave. Hey, Trippy watching. Hey, AJ Brown got a knee injury. Got hurt in practice.
Yeah, he
and
did.
You know what Mark say without AJ Brown? That's what Mark said. I'm just saying.
I'm just reporting what was told.
Understood.
They said, yeah, that's why he missed the game. That's it. They got nothing to do with me.
Understood.
Oh, my bad, AJ.
No. I gotta go. I gotta move on Trent and drop that bomb, man.
I know, right? I know.
Man.